It has been a busy day for United States lawmakers as the White House tries to drum up support for a military strike on Syria. U.S. President Barack Obama, along with the Vice President, met with high-ranking members of the Congress to discuss the issue. And Secretary of State John Kerry testified before a panel on Capitol Hill. For more on this story, we go live to CCTV's Jim Spellman on Capitol Hill. Jim.
Elaine, the president was able to rack up some more support here on Capitol Hill, but he still has more work to do before he can count on the votes he needs in Congress. With less than a week before the U.S. Congress is expected to decide on the U.S. president's call for military action against Syria, Barack Obama continued to press lawmakers for support, but this time with a more personal touch.
I look forward to listening to the various concerns of the members who are here today. I am confident that those concerns can be addressed.
Tuesday morning, Obama welcomed congressional leaders to the White House for private consultations. It appeared to work. Obama got support from a key member of his own Democratic Party.
I am fully supportive of the president's action. I think it's key and critical. I think it's important to the security of the world, and particularly the Middle East.
The top elected Republican in Washington also said he'd back Obama's plan for limited strikes on Syria.
I'm going to support the president's call for action. I believe my colleagues should support this call for action. We have enemies around the world that need to understand that we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior.
Later on Capitol Hill, ranking members of Obama's cabinet continued to make the administration's case for punishing the Syrian government. The Secretaries of State and Defense, along with America's top military official, testified before the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
This decision will be one of the most difficult any of us will be asked to make, but it is our role as representatives of the American people to make it.
Secretary of State John Kerry told the senators the U.S. must act now.
If we don't respond, we're going to be back here asking you to respond to some greater confrontation.
But Kerry seemed to stumble when asked if the United States would deploy troops if the situation in Syria deteriorated or if the U.S. had a chance to capture Syria's chemical weapons.
I don't want to take off the table an option that might or might not be available to a president of the United States to secure our country.
While President Obama has said repeatedly there will be no U.S. boots on the ground, Kerry was forced to return to this issue several times as senators sought clarification.
There will not be American boots on the ground with respect to the Civil War.
The Secretary of Defense also made it clear that the U.S. has no plans for prolonged military action in Syria.
This is about getting to an end game. That end game is a diplomatic settlement.
But few details were revealed about what the U.S. plans to do after its limited military strike. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee will receive more information on the situation tomorrow in a classified closed-door briefing. Then Kerry, Hagel, and Dempsey do it all over again before the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Elaine?
All right, CCTV's Jim Spellman live on Capitol Hill.